Hey everyone, it is Mario Tomic here, and in this video I wanted to talk to you guys about the 3 common mistakes that I see a lot of intermediate lifters make on their journey that keeps them stuck in what I like to call the intermediate purgatory. And that's my way of saying that you basically reach a point in your journey after you've gone through the beginner stuff, you learned your way around the gym, and you start hitting those first plateaus, but then instead of learning how to overcome those plateaus and moving to the next level, you get stuck. And I see a lot of guys in the gym being stuck in this phase, and they never really go beyond that. They never really go beyond early intermediate to somewhat of a late intermediate, and then go into advanced, and then eventually into an elite. And that's a big issue. And if you don't learn how to go to that next level, your physique progression will always be limited. Now, before we dive into the 3 mistakes that I wanted to share with you guys today, if you're new to this channel, if you're new to this video, if this is your first video watching here, make sure to hit subscribe to the channel to get some more awesome stuff. And if you're already subscribed, make sure to enable notifications by hitting that bell icon there. And now let's dive into the good stuff. So the first mistake, this is a really big one, is that guys stop tracking and measuring their progress. The ego has grown, you get a bit cocky, you think you know it all, and you stop tracking and measuring your workouts. You don't keep track of your nutrition at all anymore. You start winging things, and that's where you start getting lost. And I've had the same exact thing happen to me after a year and a half of my journey. I experienced an incredible transformation, but then I stopped doing the basics that got me that transformation because I felt like I could estimate. I felt like I knew what I was doing, but I didn't have the data. And then when I started hitting those first plateaus, I had no data to work from. I had no idea where to go from there. And this is a huge mistake. I see a lot of guys struggle with this. They just simply can't wrap their minds around the fact that the basics, the fundamentals that got you to a point, you got to keep doing those and upgrade there. And maybe eventually, when you get a really awesome physique and you want to maintain that physique, then it's a good idea to actually kind of semi-track and eventually even phase out tracking if you're really happy with where you're at. But if you're looking to make consistent progress and you start hitting walls, and if you're not sure what to correct, well, the first thing to look at is what does the data say where you're at right now, and without tracking and measuring, you pretty much have no idea what to correct. You pretty much have no idea what to look for. And routinely, pretty much every client that I work with, we track at least a few things, like the training, so all the workout log, it has to be pretty much dialed in. We do some nutrition tracking as well for a time as well to make sure that the nutrition is dialed in. We do track sleep, we do track some of the basic habits just to make sure that those things are dialed in so we know what to look for, especially initially if they were stuck and they just joined my program. We need to diagnose a lot what's been going on. So I look at all of that data, and then based on that we make decisions how to move forward and how to overcome a plateau. Now, if you don't have that data, well, you're pretty much screwed. You need to go through a period of time where you can actually go and gather all of that information so you can then make adjustments from there. Second mistake, you stop learning. You stop watching videos, you stop reading books, you stop educating yourself because you think you know it all. You've learned some basic stuff about nutrition, you learn some basic stuff about the gym, you're doing the 5x5, and look, eventually that stuff is gonna stop working. Like P90X can only get you so far. You need to keep upgrading. Everything that you do will eventually be outdated. Everything needs to upgrade. I mean, you wouldn't be using an iPhone 1 in 2018 or 2019. Like, you wouldn't be using something that's like a Windows 95 machine in today's age. Like, it can't even browse the web properly. So you have to keep upgrading. So this is the key, and your learning and learning information and knowing how to advance is really going to be critical. So you can't just take your foot off the pedal completely. You still have to keep investing some time, especially if you're coaching yourself. I mean, the other way is to get a mentor and a coach who can help you get to that next level so you don't have to learn how to do it yourself. And eventually, I mean, the point of coaching as well is to teach you how to do it yourself, which is, at least good coaching is supposed to do that, to build that self-reliance and to teach you what you need to know. But you still have to get into that next level of knowledge that you will be able to then use to overcome those plateaus that you're experiencing, because those plateaus are there for a reason. Basically, you have a knowledge cap, and the level of results you got right now are limited by how much you know. And the only way to go beyond that is to learn how to do stuff better. And it's not just about working harder at some point. You do have to get into it. You do have to learn some advanced stuff, and there's no way around it. Third, and this is a really big mistake that guys make, and this is routinely like pretty much everybody, is that they simply settle. Like they settle for average. They stop trying. They forget why they started the journey to begin with. They get to 15% body fat or 14% body fat. They just kind of plateau there. They stop trying to move beyond that. They stop trying hard. They lose quote unquote motivation. It's not really about motivation. It's just that you don't have that purpose in front of your eyes anymore. You've forgotten why you wanted to do this to begin with. And the goal might have changed and you haven't really sat down to plot the journey and created a roadmap and really planned out where do you want to take this thing, right? Maybe initially your goal was to just lose 20 pounds, but then you got to a point you don't have a goal anymore. And that's a big problem because without that goal, of course, the primary purpose of a goal, the way I see it, is to fuel motivation. It's to inspire you to do more, to push yourself. And that's the real value of a goal. It's not just the fact that you have a goal, because the real value to get to the goal is the process itself. But without the goal, you will not really be motivated to first do the process. And it's really hard to know what the process is if you don't have an end in mind. So having a clear end point in mind, really knowing where you want to take this, I feel like a lot of intermediate lifters reach a point in their journey where they're just clueless. And they just don't know where to go. Like, should I keep adding mass? Should I lose more weight? Should I get leaner? What am I gonna do now? Am I gonna maintain? What the hell do I do with this stuff? And that's exactly the problem. You just don't have an aim anymore. And then when you don't have an aim, you're half-assing it. You go to the gym, you kind of just waste your time there. You check your Instagram, you browse through your notifications, you just wait for the time to pass, you kind of go through the motions, and nothing happens. Of course nothing will happen because you're not really trying and you have no direction. So that energy there that you can really focus and zone in on reaching one goal, it's just all over the place. So really having that mindset of, okay, you need to consistently set new milestones for yourself and new goals and celebrate the wins along the way is really important. And those would be the 3 mistakes that I see guys make all the time. And without these, if you don't correct these, again, you will be stuck in that intermediate purgatory for a very long time. I know guys being stuck there for a decade. Some never really get out of it. And you really have to sit down, face the reality, start working on this stuff, start tracking again, start getting into it, start learning more stuff, exploring more stuff, and setting goals for yourself to push yourself to not settle for average, not be like, oh, it's good enough, and then just kind of stop trying. You want to keep improving. You got to keep iterating. The continuous improvement is really important because it keeps you motivated to push yourself and to reach your full potential, which should be your goal at the end of the day. And that is what I wanted to share with you guys in this video. Now I'm going to leave some resources in the description below as well. You can check out my free Facebook group, which I just started and it's blowing up really awesome. A lot of you guys are joining. Love you guys, for all of you guys, and come in, say hi as well. I'm waiting there for you guys. A huge community already, and it's growing pretty fast, so definitely check that out. I'm going to leave that in the description below. Other than that, as I said, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to become a part of this community. If you like the video, make sure to hit like. If you dislike it for some reason, make sure to hit dislike as well. Whatever feedback you can give, it's awesome. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.